What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 2, White Lies and Black Eyes. So it is the morning after the debauchery because the night before, these women went wild. They ate, they argued, they clubbed, they drank, they did it all. So the next morning, everybody's struggling to get up, and we see Heather. She has on these oversized sunglasses, and we don't know exactly what's going on. So she texts Jen and she's asking Jen to come to her room. So Jen comes to her room and Heather takes off her sunglasses and she shows this massive shiner. I mean, her eye is completely swollen shut. It is black and blue, completely bruised. She looks like she did a round with Mike Tyson. On her arm, all over her arm, she's got these red marks all the way down to her hand. She thought that it was lipstick, but Jen Shaw said, no, Heather, that's not lipstick. You know, those are marks. One of the marks looked like either like some type of a lip imprint. Either it was a bite or someone had pressed their lips against her arm, because we don't really know like exactly what those scratches or those red marks are really all about. So Heather claims that she has no recollection of what happened. And she wants Jen to help her come up with a cover story because she wants to protect whoever did this to her. So as soon as she said that, my first thought was, if someone did this to her, if someone hit her and caused her to have this massive black eye and she wants to protect them, it's not really to protect that person, but it's also to protect herself as well. There's something about her involvement that she wants to hide from everybody, because I see no reason in trying to protect anyone that assaulted you like that if she was assaulted by someone else. Jen says that, just say you don't know what happened. But how can you say you don't know what happened when you have this, huge black eye? I don't understand that. You must have been, I mean, I don't drink, so I don't know the extent of how, the extent that alcohol, the kind of effect that alcohol can have on a person. But I would have think that you would have been able to recollect something from the night before. So in other words, to say that, oh, I just don't remember, I don't know what happened, I'm thinking to myself, that's just not going to fly with a lot of people. So then they call in Meredith, and they show Meredith. Heather shows Meredith her black eye. And of course, Meredith is shocked. And Meredith doesn't understand, because she was like, we were all together until like 4 o'clock in the morning. When could this have possibly happened? So Meredith surmises that Heather knows exactly what happened, but she's just choosing not to say. So let's move on to Whitney and Lisa. They're having a conversation. Whitney tells Lisa that she thinks that Meredith is this master manipulator, that she's this puppeteer, and that she is somehow orchestrating or coordinating people to say certain things about Lisa. Like, Meredith has this way of like dropping a little seed, but then making other people cultivate it and making it grow into all of these accusations about Lisa. And so basically, like, she, throws the rock and hides her hand kind of thing. And of course, Lisa eats it up because her and Meredith are feuding. So of course she wants to believe what Whitney is saying, that, Meredith is, she's trying to mind control all of these people to say things about you because she's just trying to get back at you after how, Lisa had ranted about her the previous season. So now all the women, they all get together. They're all getting ready to go out for the day. So when Heather comes into the room, she has on her, oversized sunglasses. In her confessional, we hear her voice say that she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to talk about what happened. She doesn't want to answer any questions about what happened. But then as soon as she arrives in the room, the first thing she does is she takes off her sunglasses. So she brings attention directly to her black eye. So of course, when people see this, they're all going to ask her like, girl, what happened? And she claims that she has no idea. She doesn't want to talk about it. She keeps flip-flopping back and forth between, I don't want to talk about it and I don't know what happened. So everyone is absolutely shocked. Like I said, she contradicts herself by saying that she doesn't know what happened and she doesn't want to talk about it. Whitney asks her point blank, did someone hit you? And Heather responds to Whitney and says, I don't want to talk about it. So then they go-kart riding. And I realized that when they went go-kart riding, the red marks on Heather's arm, I didn't see them. I don't know if she covered them up with makeup or they faded away or they probably were just, lipstick or something. I don't know. Half of them go, after they do the go-kart riding, of course, everyone's chattering about the black eye. And Heather purposely wanted to go-kart riding with Lisa because she knew that Lisa would not ask her any questions because Lisa, she's so self-consumed that all she wants to talk about is herself. She didn't ask Heather any questions about her black eye. She just talked about herself the whole entire time that they were in the go-kart. So after that, half of them go roller skating and the other half go to a winery. Heather was part of the group that went to a winery. And of course, what do they bring out along with the wine? A damn charcuterie board. This is like the 507th charcuterie board that we have seen this season. And Heather says in her confessional, she is over the charcuterie boards. She wants to eat a substantial meal. She wants real sustenance. She wants a meal that requires a fork and a knife and not just, she said, rolled up cheese, crackers, and a cluster of grapes. So moving on from there, Whitney with her roller skating group, I think it was, I don't remember who she was with, but she was telling them that she speculates that either Heather had hurt herself or that Jen had hit her because Heather and Jen have a very toxic relationship, a love-hate relationship, as some might say. And the theory of Heather hurting herself to that extent, I don't find that very plausible. I don't think there's a check that's big enough that Bravo could write for Heather to cause her to want to hurt herself like that. There's no reason in the world why any sane person would hurt themselves like that. So I don't think that Heather hurt herself. If anything, I feel, if anything, maybe she had either an allergic reaction or something stung her in the eye, or she fell and hit herself. If we don't want to believe the theory that someone hit her, which I think is the most plausible theory, I think she was assaulted by somebody. But if we don't go down that route, I don't think she hurt herself, but maybe something bit her in the eye, stung her in the eye, or she ran into something, or she fell. But there's just no way that I'm going to believe that Heather would hurt herself at all. And if she did hurt herself, if she got that black eye by reasons other than someone hitting her, I can see Heather playing this up for attention or for distraction. When I say distraction, maybe to distract people from the things that are bothering them about her, like the fact that she's friends with Heather H and, whatever. So if she got that black eye other than from someone's fist, I can see her really playing it up and acting really coy and being very mysterious about it so that she can garner sympathy so that the people that are having an issue with her, will run to her side and want to be friends with her again or be friendly with her again. But in my heart of hearts, I think someone hit her. So, and Heather doesn't want to say anything because she wants to. So Whitney says either she hurt herself or Jen did this to her. And Heather doesn't want to say anything because she wants to protect Jen and not do anything that will cause her to, not do anything that would affect her trial. Moving on from there. So in her confessional, the producers, they keep asking Heather, like, what happened? What happened? And Heather keeps on saying that she can't or she won't talk about it. Meredith tells her group, the group that she was in, that she talked about Lisa. She brought up Lisa. She talked about how Lisa's business was failing. Lisa had filed an SEC for her, I think her Vita tequila company. She filed an SEC. She did like some kind of crowdfunding to raise $25,000. I really didn't understand. I don't have a business mind. So it's really hard for me to follow exactly what she was talking about and to really understand thoroughly what she was referring to. But basically, I think point was that Lisa was attempting to start this company, didn't have a lot of money to start it with. So she chose a way, like a desperate way to try to get the money, which is called crowdfunding. I don't really know what that means. And therefore, she really doesn't have any money. She wants to fake the funk like she's got it like that. Like, they're just rolling money because she's always name brand out. And it's not real. It's all an illusion. She really doesn't have this money. And that the Vita Tequila Company is not earning them a profit, is actually losing a lot of money. So she talks about this. And in the group that she's telling this to is Angie K. So Angie K played dumb. I don't think Angie K was as dumb as she wanted to sound. Her whole thing of what's an SEC filing? What's all this? I think she was trying to play dumb to get more information so that she can eventually pass it on to Lisa, which she did. So as soon as they get back to the house right before dinner, Angie K runs to Lisa Barlow and tells Lisa Barlow all of this information that Meredith was saying. Meredith and Jen were talking about Lisa's failing business, her husband who can't keep a job, so on and so forth. So of course, Meredith is really upset because Lisa was really upset. And of course, Lisa says that in her group, the group that she was in, the ice cream group or the skating group, Dana had told her that Meredith was talking about her when her and Meredith were having dinner or something. Meredith was talking about her. So Lisa had already known that Meredith was saying all these things about her business. So this is, look, the thing about the businesses and these housewives, I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's, juicy information whatsoever, because a lot of them have businesses that don't do well. A lot of them have businesses that go up and down. So I'm not really interested in this whole Vita Tequila, SEC filing, crowdfunding, all that. I'm really not interested in. If this is not her only source of income, which I'm sure it's not, like, what does it matter? If this one little business didn't do well, she probably has a plethora of other businesses that are generating income. Now it's time for dinner. So Heather comes down, and now she comes down with an eye patch. I think she would have been better off with sunglasses, but for whatever reason, she wanted to come down with an eye patch. Whitney asked her, how did you get her an eye patch? Like, where did that come from? And Heather says that Jen and Meredith had made it for her. And it's an eye patch with the evil eye on it, which is supposed to ward off evil spirits. So when Angie, the host of the dinner, when she comes down, she gives all the ladies a gift, which is a necklace with the evil eye on it, to ward off evil spirits. And as soon as they get that out of the way, they get down to business. Lisa asks who's been talking about her business. And Meredith says, well, she had probably mentioned it in passing. She tries to downplay it, but that's not at all what happened. When Meredith was talking about Lisa's business, she was going in on Lisa. It was not in passing. She was holding court, and she was given all the details, given all the business about Lisa's failing business. So it was not in passing at all, but Meredith tries to downplay it. And, I like Meredith. And so it really bothers me when Meredith, when she gets caught red-handed, own up to it. Own up to it. Yeah, I was talking about your damn business because your business is failing. And yes, I was talking about you behind your back because that's what you do to me all the time. Own up to it. Don't try to shy away from it. So Lisa accuses Meredith of saying that John didn't have a job. She's like, and you're saying that my husband doesn't have a job? Meredith completely denied saying that. I don't know if Meredith denied saying that because she really believes she didn't say that John didn't have a job, because she actually said that John cannot keep a job. As in, he gets work, he gets jobs, but for whatever reason, he doesn't keep them. So I don't know what Meredith was implying when she said that, but Meredith denied saying that. So when Meredith denied saying that John did not have a job, Lisa pulls in Angie K into the conversation. And she tells Angie K, so Angie, what exactly did she say about my husband? And then Heather says, why is she pulling in Angie K? Because Angie K was part of the group that was listening to Meredith talk about Lisa's business. And so Heather's like, so is that what you do, Angie K? Is that what a good host does? does. They gather all this information and then they go tell it to whoever we were talking about. And Angie K, she tries to play like, but I just felt so uncomfortable that y'all were talking about your friend. She's your friend and y'all were talking about her and she wasn't even there. And it just made me feel so uncomfortable. Girl, you were not feeling uncomfortable. You were feeling quite giddy about hearing this titillating information about Lisa coming from Meredith, who was not her friend, coming from Heather. I don't know how close Heather and Lisa really are. And you just couldn't wait to go and tell Lisa all the gossip that they were saying about her. So you weren't uncomfortable, Angie. Then here we go again. Meredith and Lisa, they start bickering back and forth about Lisa's rant. We all know how that went down. These women are still not over it. Lisa keeps asking Meredith, I've already apologized. What more do you want me to do? Meredith claims, I already told you what you want me to do. They go back and forth. I don't know if Meredith was implying that Lisa needs to go talk to a therapist or something when she says, I already told you what you need to do. I have no idea what she meant by that, because she did imply last season that she did want Lisa to get help. Lisa was really offended by that because it was like Meredith was telling her that she has some type of mental health issues. So they go back and forth about the damn rant. Okay, they're rewriting history, rehashing history. I'm not interested in that. So then Heather, to calm everybody down, wants to use her black eye as a metaphor of their friendship. I forgot how she used it as a metaphor, but I'm looking at Heather and I'm thinking to myself, Heather, I don't want you to use your black eye as a metaphor of anything. I want you to tell us what happened to you. I'm not interested in Lisa's SEC filings. I'm not interested in Lisa and Meredith going back and forth about the rant. I want to know what happened to your eye, Heather, and why you don't want to talk about it. So we go back to her confessional and the producers, they kind of catch Heather slipping. They tell her that, well, you said that you didn't know what happened. And Heather goes, I never said I didn't know what happened. Well, you did say that in the show when they were, when y'all were filming, you did say that you didn't know what happened. That's what you initially told Jen and Meredith. You didn't know what happened. So she goes, I never said I didn't know what happened. All I said was I didn't want to talk about it. And what's the first rule of Fight Club? Which is obviously you don't talk about Fight Club. So then the producers ask her, Heather, who are you trying to protect? And there's this long dramatic pause. And Heather says, myself. Yes. She got into a fight. This is my assumption. She got into a fight with someone. Maybe she started the fight and maybe this person got, got the upper hand of the fight. And so she doesn't want to talk about it because she's going to be implicating herself in doing something that she shouldn't have been doing or saying something she should not have been saying. So that's why she doesn't want to talk about the damn fight. But I'm very, very, very curious. Who did this to Heather? Who could have done this to Heather? And when I go down the list of people, the only possibilities that I have was either Jen Shaw or Whitney. Her and Jen, they go back and forth. Her and Whitney don't really see it for each other right now. So it's one of those two. But Whitney acted so shocked when she saw the black eye. So I really don't think that it was Whitney. I doubt that it was Whitney. But the only other person I can think of was Jen Shaw, unless it was somebody that's not a part of the group. I don't know. I have no idea. Somebody, maybe a producer or someone behind the camera. I have no idea how this could have happened, but I'm really interested to know. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.